What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Worldly Church Girl. It's your girl, your host, Lillian Harshaw. On today's show, I have author, poet, publisher, entrepreneur, life coach, and host of the UpLIFT Show, Breezy, CaBell. So I'm glad to have you on here, and we got quite a bit to cover because you are a busy woman, busier than I knew. To be honest, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready for your resume, young lady.
Well, you know what? After listening to all the things that you said, I was kind of like, do I do all that? Am I that? I am very funny about putting titles or labels on myself. I'm not good with it. I use them because I have to, but not necessarily because I feel that. Like, people will call me an author, and I say, I'm not right. And they say, well, what's the difference? I don't know. Just the title author to me just sounds so big and so out there.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I have, like, I think 6 books under my belt now, I'm just like, I just was an author. But yeah, listening to all those things, you almost made me feel important. You better watch it. It's going to make my head get big.
You know what?
My head
Here's the
big enough.
Here's the thing. I went to a writers' conference a couple years ago, and they said if you write, you are an author. So take that.
I wasn't at that conference, so therefore I don't have to.
I was there, and I'll email you the notes. I'm just that petty. You are an author, and here's the thing: how you gonna say you're not an author and you have multiple books out there and multiple plays out there? So anyway, I digress. Let's move forward. And here's the funny thing: you started writing in the 6th grade. You wrote your first play in the 6th grade. Do you even remember the name of your play and what was it about?
Green Date. And
okay.
It was about high schoolers and this one guy who was like, every week he was in love with a different girl.
Oh.
And so he was just like chasing a different girl every week because he just knew he was a girl in the class at some point. This was back in, and I see, I know that you're on the same page with me because we're around the same age. You remember when they used to have Cosby Show and Blossom and all that? They would come together every Friday to do these really cheesy movies.
Yes. Those like Saturday morning specials or whatever. Yeah.
Some of them were on Saturday morning, some of them were on Friday nights.
Yeah.
But that's the era I grew up in. When I wrote that play, that's what I had in mind, like one of these little, silly teen comedy drama things.
How did it end?
I don't know. One of the loves of his life sees a new girl at her locker, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go out?" And it's just like, is not phased. Keeping in mind, I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
I was either 10 or 11. So it's like, what did I know about it?
Yeah, I was going to say for a 6th grade, to be writing about a boy whoring around, let's just call it what it was. But that's pretty deep for a 6th grader.
Well, always very advanced, especially when it comes to literature. When, we were having scholastic book fairs and everybody else was reading like Judy Blume, Beverly Cleary, and reading about Ramona. And I liked those books. But I was reading books called I'm 16 and I Don't Want to Die.
Whoa.
Which was like a Diary of Anne Frank-esque type book. Mm-hmm. About a girl who and her family who were trying to survive through some kind of terrible war. But when it came right down to it, I was reading stuff way above my reading level.
Yeah, you were. That's deep. So we're going to move forward just a smidgen. So about age 25, you wrote your first poetry book. Your first poetry book was published, I should say.
Right.
Okay. So tell us about that.
So my first book is called Chasing Shadows: Revelations of a Young Mind. I've always been kind of a scribbler. Well, I'll scribble something down. I'll scribble a note, an idea, a title, or even a full piece. I forgot I wrote that. So
Mm-hmm.
I just decided to finally put everything together into one collection. There was no rhyme or reason. There was no there was no chapters. There was no ABCD order. It was just, here's some stuff that I wrote. Here you go. And the earliest piece that I had in there was something I had written when I was probably around 16 or 17 years old.
What was
And
it called?
it was called The Answer. And it's sitting next to the cat. And I would ask her to hand it to me, but she doesn't have no thumbs. So
Even if she did, she wouldn't give it to you.
The poem is coming from the point of view of somebody sitting in the forest,
Mm-hmm.
in the forest floor, waiting for an answer to a question that she doesn't have. And yeah, it was very kind of I was told it was morbid. I didn't think it was morbid, but since that's the label it was given, we'll say it was a little morbid.
Now, did multiple people give you that label, or just a few?
Most people who read it did.
And then it was morbid then.
A lot of my early poetry, and some of it now, can be on the heavy side, but I write out of the abundance of my heart. Whatever I'm feeling at that time, it just comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it comes out very dramatically. That's just the way my brain.
Yeah, but you like those dark detective shows too, though.
Oh, I do a lot of research into serial killers, like true crime.
Yeah.
I can tell you about all kinds of serial killers.
Mm-hmm. So you almost can't help it. It's gonna pour out of you some kind of way anyway.
Well, it's not that I'm interested in murder necessarily. It's the psychology behind the person. Nobody, pops out of the womb and says, I'm going to kill you. No, something happened. And I look back at their life, their childhood, their schooling, their peers, their everything, to find out what caused this person to do whatever it is that they did. So I'm about psychology. I'm very psychology minded.
When did you get into that?
I can't remember not ever being into it, because I started getting fascinated with things that happened in like the 1800s. Because I remember being fascinated by the story of Lizzie Borden and Jack the Ripper. I would probably say early teenagehood. I've gotten more interested in it as time has gone on, but I really love psychology. I'm actually getting ready to go back to school to do a little bit more study in the area of psychology.
Oh, okay. You wrote a book called Dreamcatcher.
Yes, that was the follow-up to Chasing Shadows.
Okay.
And that one had a little bit more of a purpose, whereas the first book was just kind of, here's some random things. Dreamcatcher had more of a purpose. I was coming out of so I wanted it to reflect a little bit more of a lighter sense, a lighter side of my life. So it's certainly not as dark as Chasing Shadows.
So it was purposeful. You wanted to show everybody that you wasn't so dark and decrepit. Like, I am a lighthearted person, y'all. I swear I am.
I am now. I am totally different. If you had known me 20 years ago, you would probably think I was, had been in like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I had just been taken over.
Now, you've written so many books and plays, and so I'm going to ask you, what do you enjoy doing the most? Do you enjoy writing books more, or do you enjoy writing plays more?
Oh, man. I don't know if I can answer that question. When I write poetry, I'm telling my story. So I'm giving life to different areas or times in my life. But when I'm giving voice to characters that don't even exist. I am able to create whoever and whatever I want from the floor up.
Mm-hmm.
And that is exciting to me. But I'm not sure I can say which I like better.
You like them both for different reasons.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
To me, words are living, breathing things. And
Yeah.
I am not, I wrote once that words are our most common form of communication, but our most inadequate form of expression. We talk all the time. We talk from the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep, and then we talk in our sleep. But when I'm writing, think about my words. I can think about how my words are going to transcribe from deeper to the reader. I can put more thought behind it than if I'm just sitting there running my mouth. Like I'm working now. Now I wrote a novel a few years ago. It's called Meanwhile on the Other Side of Town. Mm-hmm. And I'm working on some other treatments for this book right now. I can't really go into specifics of what they are because they're kind of under wraps right now. But this book centers around one character who is in the middle of everybody else's drama. Mm. So I was able to weave 4 stories together and give each story a beginning, a middle, and an end. Give each story a purpose. Give each character a background. I was able to create a whole little world. And that is just amazing to me. Nothing like being able to look at some words on a piece of paper and be transported into a whole other realm.
Yes, it is. I know you said you were taking a break from radio. But anywho, I digress. We're going to talk about what motivated you to begin with, to even go into radio.
Well, for those of you who don't know, I am the former host of the UpLIFT Show on Awesome God Radio, which I am still a part of the AGR family. I'm not going anywhere. I tell people I'm like a fungus. You really can't get rid of me once you have me. Want to, but when it comes right down to it, I'm not going away.
No, so you are not.
I'm still part of the AGR family, but I did the UpLIFT Show for a little over 3 years. The show was a Christian lifestyle show where we aspect of life from a Christian point of view. Not that we were always preaching at anybody, not that, everything was centered around, and the word says, and no, not all that. This is life just coming from the point of view of someone who happens to be Christian. Right. Everything, I love church. I love worship, and I love Sunday mornings, but 99% of life happens outside the church walls. We can't be in church all the time. Amen. But we can make sure the church is in us. But what can we do with that church that's in us? How is that going to relate to our fashion? How's that going to relate to our emotional health, our physical health? How's that going to relate to our familial relationships? How's that going to relate to our marriages?
Just our day to day.
Exactly. There is anything, float your boat. There's something out there that you can get into. All kind of fetishes and weird stuff and happy stuff and sad stuff. You can do anything and find any people who are into what you're into. But Christianity is something that continues to be pushed into the closet. Everything is okay now. All Bible thumpers and holy rollers and, all this stuff, which is not largely true. There are some people, yeah, but by and large, most of us are really trying to live the life, and we need to be around other people who are also trying to live the life, but who don't have to walk around with a Bible stuck up under their arm 24/7. Once you get up off the altar and you finish spitting and snotting and hucking and bucking and all that stuff, you still got to walk out the door and live.
Right. Can I stay in spirit always?
No, because I will tell you, there's a very fine line between bless you and F you.
Yes.
It's a fine line.
It's thread thin.
Mm-hmm. And I have danced on that line more than a few times. People will take you there, and especially church people will take you there. You know, when I first got saved, I was very naive, and I thought that everybody here is saved. They believe in God. They read the Bible. Everything here is going to be perfect.
Everybody's nice.
We're all going to be. Boy, did I learn!
Boy,
my grandma
real quick
told me. My grandma, and I wish I had listened to her. But grandma told me from day one, she said, and this was her line, she said, I've been in church since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And let me tell you how church folks are. And she proceeded to tell me, you can't talk to everybody. You can't get close to everybody. You can't do this and you can't do that. And I was so naive. It's not that I didn't believe her. I just didn't understand. And it wasn't until I got caught up and I got hurt on more than one occasion that I started to think, maybe grandma was right.
And that church hurt is real.
Yes, it is. There's no hurt like the church. My pastor's father used to say, he was the Bishop Monroe Saunders Sr., who was the founder. The church is the only place that will kill its walking wounded.
That is facts.
Yes, it is. That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is. Man, that's the truth.
Yeah, the problem is, we call church a hospital. And people who come in are sick people and they're looking for treatment. And sometimes we make them sicker than they were before they came in.
What you done said. We put them on the critical list. They came in with a broken leg. Now they're in ICU.
Hello.
Because of your mouth, because of your tongue.
A lot of times, they out to church and we lose them and we'll never get them back.
Mm-hmm.
I know so many people say they used to be saved or they used to go to church, but something happened and they got turned off and that's it. And they never get turned back on. I am very, and this is not a slight on anybody in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Who I let into my personal space. People there. I sniff around, and if I sniff something that don't sniff right, nope, can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Nelson said, he says he's been backstabbed too many times. So have I.
Yeah, we all
in the church and out the church,
and back in, and back out, and back in, and back out at the same church. But hey, that's why it's an individual thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an individual, and then you just find out for yourself that it has nothing to do with the people. It has everything to do with me, and I got to separate myself from all this foolishness and not look at the show that's going on before me and look up. Because if I keep looking at all this, there's no such thing as a perfect church anyway.
Of course not, because people are people, regardless of what they believe, no matter what they subscribe to, no matter what their faith is. People are people, and people are imperfect. And anywhere you have a person, you're going to have imperfection. And you're right. We put up on these pedestals, and we put these unrealistic expectations on them, and they will fail. The word says the arm of flesh will fail you every time. And that is fact. People will fail you because they are people. So we have to continue in the mindset that we're not at church to please people. We're there to help people, but we're there to worship God.
Right.
People just happen to be there.
Right. And that's something that people have a problem with too when they're in church. Or let me say this, let me correct myself. When they go to church, the building in itself, they are so busy trying to please the people in there that they forgot why they're even in there to begin with.
Amen.
I've seen that plenty of times. You're so busy trying to please this auxiliary board and that auxiliary board, and I don't need to be a part of nobody's board.
And then you have people who are title chasers. They are so on being evangelist so-and-so or elder this or, minister such and such, that they are willing to do anything they can, including putting on this facade
Yeah.
of being so high and holy. When now behind closed doors, they raising all kind of hell. They beat their wife on Saturday morning and speaking in tongue when you just cussed your wife.
Yeah. Don't forget about them sisters though. Just because she got a skirt all the way down to her ankle and a turtleneck on, don't necessarily mean that she's that saved when she get home. Mm-hmm. She cussing her husband out, throwing a skillet at him.
And then the club getting drunk all weekend,
and then making it a time for Sunday school. Get out of here! Get out of here! Talking about, so where's your husband at? Oh, he didn't feel like coming to church. That's because you put a knot on his head. But anyway.
Gotta love our people. I love them.
Love them. They're so precious. Precious lambs.
Now, see, these are the kind of things that I would discuss on my show. Because you don't talk about that in church. You go to church, you listen to a sermon, you read a couple of scriptures, you give some money.
Mm-hmm. Choir sing.
Exactly.
Sermonic solo. Shout.
Yeah. You gotta get your shout in.
Gotta get my praise in.
Yeah, you know how everybody shouts. You know, sister so and so who always flap her arms like a bird, and then you know the ones who always run around in circles, and you know
the one that always pass out. You pass out every Sunday. Every Sunday you just slang. Every Sunday. Wait a minute. This is even better. And you pass out front of the deacon board every Sunday. That's your spot.
And somebody got to run up and cover you with the sheet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We know how to do that.
Oh yeah. Go through all those those traditions and those what is it? Anyway, you go through all those motions and still leave empty-handed.
Mm-hmm. Because you done came in, you done put on your show, and now that it's time to move from the stage to real life, you don't know what to do with yourself. Yeah,
you ain't grown. You ain't learned nothing. Still same old.
I went to visit a church. This was some years ago. And it was a female pastor, and she said when she did her altar call, she said, "Now don't come up here and then let me lay hands on you and you falling out on the floor. Because as soon as you get up, I'm gonna say, now what did you learn while you were down there?" I said, "Oh
no, she did.
Hey.
Now what did you learn when you were down there?"
But she was not playing. She said, "Don't come up here and put on that big show for nobody. I'm not having it."
Oh, what if somebody got up and said, "I learned that this floor was dirty"? I'm just petty like that. I'm just saying. Because if you're going to put me up, don't put me on the spot like that. Ooh, okay. That's good, though. I bet a bunch of people didn't go up there either, did they?
They didn't. Nope. And those that did go up there, they got up there, they got their touch, and they kept on moving.
Yeah, nobody fell out that Sunday. That's funny. That is too funny. Girl, got to be more careful. But I always wanted to ask you, how'd you get the nickname Breezy?
I made it up.
You made it up. Okay.
When I first started the UpLIFT Show, I decided I needed a radio name. And Breezy just came out. I was never Breezy before that. When I did the show with Breezy, and everybody said, "Who is Breezy?" They didn't know, because I was always Briana. Some people call me Bree, some people call me Bree. But I was never Breezy. It just came along.
I mean, it fits. Yeah, it fits. I thought it was something your mama called you. I thought she called you Breezy.
No, my mother called me something else that it is on this line.
I will take you off the air. Just it'd be nothing for me to do it. Just a simple click.
And as I've spent 20 plus years in early childhood education. I'm a private nanny now, and I've been in and out of daycare centers, Montessori schools, public school. I've been working with little ones forever. And Briana is not the easiest name for them to say. So I have been called all kinds of stuff. I've been Miss Beanie. I've been Miss Brinana. So I've had all kind of names.
Wow. Well,
You can call me anything you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. We good.
well, here's the thing. It's not like you can't cook.
I do cook. I love to cook.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And if you late, it ain't like you can't cook. You had a whole restaurant, a whole catering service.
Yeah, yes. And I miss having people to cook for. But when I get the opportunities to cook for somebody, oh, I will burn this kitchen down.
Mm-hmm.
Just the other day, I had a friend over, and I made this great, beautiful seared ribeye steak with stuffed mushrooms. It was spinach and artichoke stuffed mushrooms, sautéed haricot vert, and these little tiny garlic rosemary butter smashed potatoes. Not mashed potatoes, smashed potatoes, where you get the really small potatoes and you cook them just so, and then you smash them down, and then let them braise in rosemary butter.
Ooh, girl. Ooh, girl.
And that to me is normal if I'm cooking for somebody. You know, I love it. And he ate it. He enjoyed it.
I bet he did. Shoot. I bet that was fire.
Yeah. I actually got the opportunity several years ago to do a live cooking segment on Fox 5. It was Fox 5. And it was it's called What's Cooking. The segment was called What's Cooking, and they spotlighted local. No idea how we ended up on that show, but it was so awesome to be able to cook in front of people. I actually thought about trying to get on the Food Network for a while, but I decided I'm not a very good teacher because I don't do recipes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. You cook from the soul. So it wouldn't be like you could be like, okay, a teaspoon this, teaspoon of that.
No, it's some of this and a little bit of that. You know, and that's why in B and C Delectables, I was the B, my mother was the C. I did the cooking, she did the baking. I have a culinary arts degree, she has a pastry arts degree. And I went with her to her classes one time, and I met her chef teacher. And I told him I didn't even own measuring spoons. He looked at me like I was out of my mind. I said,
well, yeah, because that's so unorthodox.
I don't own I didn't own measuring spoons or measuring cups. The only reason I went and bought measuring spoons is because I took my cat to the vet and they told me I was feeding her too much and they needed me to measure her food. That's what made me go and buy measuring spoons to measure the cat.
Get out of here.
That's the only thing.
As long as you just use that for the cat and nobody else, we're good. We are okay.
She has her own special spoon.
All right.
The rest of the measuring spoons, I took the tablespoon out and put it in her little food bucket. The rest of the spoons are somewhere. I don't even know where the rest of the spoons are.
Because you don't use them.
I don't use them. That's why I don't do the baking. I let my mother do the baking because you measure everything so. You gotta have this much, and this much baking powder, and this much salt. Nah, I ain't got that kind of time.
Okay, so when y'all did the catering thing, I mean, how did you make sure your food was consistent all the time when you cook for people? And they were like, okay, if a certain person was at that event, they're like, ooh, we want this same dish at our event. What did you do? Because you know it wasn't going to taste the exact same way because you eyeballed it the whole time.
I know, and I have so many people say, "Oh, can you give me the recipe for that? How did you make this? What did you put in it?" I don't know. I really, but I always can make it the same way again. I just can't tell you what I did. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm weird like that. That I've been cooking since I was 7 years old, and I made my first big meal at around 10. My mother tells me, "I don't." You, Nelson. My mom said that my mother, she had terrible migraines for years when I was a kid, and she came home from work one day. I think I was 10 years old. She came home from work with a terrible migraine. She was so sick. She dragged herself in the house, and I was like, "Mommy, are you okay?" And she said, "No. Go in the car, get my purse, lock the door, and leave me alone. So she got on the sofa. I went in the kitchen. She said I cooked pork chops and mashed potatoes and greens and all this stuff. And woke her up and said, "Mommy, I haven't cooked dinner. You want to eat?" And she's, thinking maybe I opened up a can of soup.
Right.
But I had this whole meal ready for her.
You had a whole Sunday dinner in there. That's impressive. That's more than impressive.
Yes, yeah, I got to FedEx you some food.
Yeah. I need some food from you, and I need a pound cake from your mama.
We ship those pound cakes all over the place. We got to ship you one. Text me your address. We're going to ship you one.
Okay. I sure will. You ain't got to tell me twice. I need pound cake.
They have never had cake before.
Because she made you a banana pudding pound cake?
Pudding cheesecake.
Yeah, banana pudding cheesecake. That's what it was.
For Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And for my last month, I asked her to make me a carrot cake cheesecake. It was half carrot cake.
Ooh.
Oh my God, that thing was so good.
Ooh. And she didn't have that in her recipe. She made that up for you, didn't she?
Yeah, pretty much. She's a great carrot cake. Her carrot cake is so good, but I really want a cheesecake too. So just like, take your cheesecake and make a layer of cheesecake and then make that great carrot cake and a layer of carrot cake. And then she did it and cream cheese frosting on it.
I bet that was fire. See, yeah, I'm texting y'all my address. Yeah, as soon as we say goodnight to everybody, you will be getting that address.
Okay.
Now, I want to talk before time wraps up. I want to talk about your life coaching program that you have. Yes, that is extremely important. So I want to make sure we talk about that. I want to share that with everyone.
Thank you. I appreciate that. As you can see behind me, your spirit matters. I have found that it is a true stigma, especially in the Black community, for anything that involves therapy. Fortunately, this mind or that you're suicidal, and that is just simply not true. And I am not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't handle your meds. But what I am is they call life coaching. Life coaching has kind of exploded in the last few years. I think when Iyanla started Iyanla Fix My Life, that's when life coaching just exploded. And life coaching and therapy are not really the same thing. I don't offer it. Well, I do offer advice because I got a big mouth, but that's not necessarily my job. I can't prescribe your for you. I cannot. I can't give you any psychological resources. I don't do that. But as a life coach, I'm going to help you get your thoughts together. You might have to. You might want to go into a specific area of business or industry, and you don't know how to do that. So it's my job to sit down with you and to help you figure out step by step how to get to your goal. I mean, I can help you with career goals and all that, but my main concern is to get you on track spiritually. That doesn't mean I'm going to be, as they say, travailing with you. I'm not laying hands all over you, trying to get you to speak in tongues. No, I'm not going to do all that.
Right.
Guide you in morality and ethics. I'm going to use Bible-based ideas to help you figure out what your place in life is. But it's not my job to judge you. Not my job to try to force you to believe anything. I'm just taking your base so that you can live a better life. I have a bachelor's of ministry in life issues counseling and pregnancy and abortion counseling. So I'm a trained listener. I'm a trained counselor. I'm now a certified life coach. I got my certification not too long ago. So I'm building up my clientele. I'm building up my business, not because I'm trying to make money off of anybody, not because I'm trying to be Dr. Breezy. I want to help people live their spiritually, because as I say, your spiritual health matters.
Yes.
We go to the doctor, when we don't feel good, but when our emotions are messed up, we don't say nothing. We may or may not call a girlfriend, or sometimes people might talk to their pastor or something, maybe. But most of the time, when it's emotional or mental issues, we shut down because I see a therapist every single week. If I didn't see her, I would probably be on the news. Large black woman jumps on water tower and starts BB gunning people in the butt in Times Square. That would be
not BB gunning. Well, at least it was a non-lethal weapon. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, I don't shoot people, but I do have a BB gun. But I have been in therapy for years, and believe me, with the life that I have had and the things that I have been through, I need therapy. And I am not ashamed to admit it. I'm not ashamed to admit that I am major depressive disorder. I'm not ashamed to admit that I take medication to keep me stable. That doesn't make me crazy. So I want to help other people recognize that they need help, and they might need more than a coach. They might need a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a licensed therapist, and I'll be more than happy to refer. Let me help you figure out what's going on in your own head. Then we can make some steps forward. You definitely get a free consultation from me. I will work with, I'm interested in helping people. I'm not trying to become rich. That's not my goal. At least not from other people. Now, some people just want to give me a bunch of money, come on with it. But definitely, if
you can email her and find out the Cash App.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Now, anybody who feels, what, I really do need to talk to somebody. You can give me a call. They can email me. They can text me, and we'll talk about it. Let me help you figure out what you need. Then, after we figure out what you need, then you can decide if I'm the one to help you do it or not. And if I don't think I can help you, I'm going to tell you. And if you don't think I can help you, you're not going to hurt my feelings by saying so. But let me do that for you first. Then we'll worry about all the other stuff.
Yeah.
My regular rates are, as someone has said to me, ridiculously reasonable.
In other words, you're lowballing yourself. Got it. Yeah, that's what that means when someone says that. So I'm going to ask you not to say your amount on here.
I have a company called Elohim Multimedia. And under the Elohim banner is where I do everything. I do marketing materials. I do, writing or publishing. I do live readings, speaking engagements, whatever. I do everything under the banner of Elohim Multimedia. And my little, I don't want to say catchphrase, but I can't think of another word right now, is enlighten, inform, inspire. And I'm not after anybody's anything. I'm not trying to portray myself as something that I'm not. I am simply here to help. Because when I needed help, I wasn't necessarily able to find it, in or out of the church. And when I did find it, unfortunately, what I did find a lot was victim shaming or victim blaming. I want to help people do better. I don't believe that our experiences are just for ourselves. We can't live our life in vain. Whatever has happened to you, happened to me. And we're not an island unto ourselves. As the Bible says, there's nothing new under the sun. It might be new to us, but it's not new to somebody else. The question is always, well, what is the meaning of life? Nobody can answer the question, what is the meaning of life? If you keep your life to yourself, you're missing the purpose of your life. So I'm putting my life out there. With my last book, and I'll say this quickly, my last book that I wrote is called From Those to Catching Dreams, The Tale of a Phoenix. And if you don't know what a phoenix is a mythical bird that arises from the ashes.
Yeah.
And I have been down in the flame. Trust me. I have had at least 4 confirmed nervous breakdowns. I have been suicidal on more than one occasion. I have been in psychological programs. I've been in the back of a police car in handcuffs. I've been there. And I cannot believe that I've had those experiences and come out of them just to sit on it and not tell anyone going through. My book it's an autobiography, but it's written in poetry and prose at the same time, where I tell my story with chronological poetry, but I also will give kind of I'll give the story behind the poem. It's a snapshot of one particular part of my life. That's why the subtitle is Chapter 1. Chapter 2 is I've started it up here, but I haven't started it down here yet. You can look me up by my name, which is Briana C, CaBell, or you can look up the name of the book, which is Chasing Shadows to Catching Dreams.
Okay.
The Tale of a Phoenix.
Okay.
I don't have to do all that. Just put my name up in there.
Okay.
And I don't just publish for myself. I have other authors that I publish as well. So I have a large trove of books available in different genres.
Yeah, you like I said, your portfolio is no game. It is real.
I hope so. I'm trying to push. I am trying to push. I have big dreams.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have reality. Your dreams are reality. So you're not just getting started. You already started. You just steady climbing. So I'm proud of you, sis.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I have a lot of admiration for you.
Oh, don't do that.
Why
Don't get me all mushy,
girl.
Don't do it, because I'm easy to cry. I'm real easy to cry, so don't do that. Nope.
Listen, you have a beautiful and open spirit. You have a teachable spirit, and you have a very humble spirit, and that's not something everybody has. You're not fake with it. And some people try too hard to be something, but you don't have to try. It just comes natural for you, and it's a beautiful thing. And I know you say you get nervous on.
See, that's why I froze.
I know you get nervous on your show days, and when you have events or whatever it is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But that's part of your humility, because there's no need for you to be nervous at all. It is natural. It flows out of you like water, but you don't really.
See.
It's okay to be nervous. Just know that you got this.
Thank you.
I
hate to say this, but I'm glad it keeps freezing, because I won't get all mushy and start crying. I'm like, I can't hear what she's saying, so yay, I can't cry. But I still felt it. Thank you.
Well, that's all right. You getting ready to jump Oprah in line.
Thank you. You ain't supposed to do that. You ain't supposed to do this.
Don't forget me when you come into your kingdom. That's all I got to say.
Girl, please. I'm taking everybody with me. Well, not everybody. Not everybody, but I'm taking a lot of people.
Those of us who deserve to go.
Amen.
Everybody is not worthy of riding on your coattails.
And that goes for everybody, not just me. That just goes for everybody. Not everybody's worthy of going with you when you go there. So
that's right. Especially on at the last minute, who done ignored you your whole life, who done hurt you and turned their back on you and everything else. But as soon as they smell that you got something, then all of a sudden they in your face.
Yeah. So you tell Craig and them gone somewhere. Go home now.
The piece of advice that I love from one of the bloggers that I subscribe to. He says, if someone is not there, they don't deserve to be with you through your good times.
That's right. If you didn't ride with me when it was ugly, you sure can't ride with me when it's pretty.
Hey, amen.
So, listen, don't get me started. So, what's next for you? Besides the chapter 2 of your book, what's next for you?
I am working on some screen projects, and I'll kind of leave it at that. I'm looking to move into a new medium. You know, I do a little bit of acting here and there.
Yes, you do.
I just finished doing the stage play for Color Girls last month. I've of short films. I've done a couple of things here and there, and it's opened me up to different people in different areas, and I'm meeting some people that might be interested in helping me go to the next level.
All right, amen. All right, don't you forget me either. Shoot.
I'm my first movie.
All right, now. How can people contact you? Like all your social media sites and whatnot.
You can find me at Easy Breezy Briana on Facebook. I will freely admit that I am not as into social media as I should be. And what's it, Periscope and Twitch? I don't know nothing about them things. Okay. And I think I've even signed up for Instagram, but I have never used it. I have no idea. I really need to do better about that. But the best way to find me is generally on Facebook, because I go on there multiple times a day just to see what people are doing.
Yeah. And, I'm gonna ask you to familiarize yourself with Instagram at least.
I know, it's a shame. I know it is. But I do put out every single day. If you follow me at Elohim Supports, Elohim Counseling and Support Services, I do post every day some just some thoughts to brighten your day. Okay. I will always give a little word of encouragement, something, and I do that every day. So if you go there and follow me, you can get that. You can get that every single day.
Okay. Last question. Okay, if you could have any song be your theme song when you walked into a room, what would it be and why?
Oh, I love music. I absolutely love music. The first couple of things that come to my head, I can't narrow down to one, but one of the first ones that comes to my head is actually a Vicki Winans song called "The Rainbow." The storm. That, the rainbow is coming. No matter what's going on, the rainbow is coming, and that rainbow is. The song is absolutely gorgeous. But then I'm also thinking "Black Butterfly" by Denise Williams. Ooh. I can identify with the butterfly because I was in a cocoon for a very long time. What goes on inside the cocoon is an ugly process. There's ugly things going on in there. It is not cute. Yeah. When the thing goes in there, it's ugly. It's an ugly little creature.
That metamorphosis is pretty nasty. Yeah.
And that is not me, talking about how wonderful I am, but it is me saying that I have come out of the ugliness that I've been in. And I'm ready to spread my wings and fly.
All right, that's beautiful. Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
Silken dreams take flight as the darkness gives way. Dawn. Boy, that song's gonna be in my head all night long now.
As it should be.
Black butterfly, ain't I?
Now, well, you know what? I'm so glad we did this. Next time, hopefully your Wi-Fi won't be cutting up so bad and the storm would been passed on by both our areas. And neither one of us are having any issues. But I'm still glad you did this.
I hear the sound of an abundance of rain, but the storm is passing over. Yes.
Yep. All right now. Better say that. Oh my God!
Thank you so much for having me on tonight. You know, I love anytime I get to chit and chat with you.
Oh, I know you my sis. And what I appreciate about you is that when AJ brought me into the family, you were one of the first ones that just loved on me from day one and just treated me like you didn't treat me like the step kid. You know, like you treated me like I was already was a part of y'all from day one. And so I mean, all y'all did, but you was the first one that just kind of was like, you know, I like her, and I was like, what? You don't know me? I could be crazy.
Me too.
And that's part what it was. So yeah, I got a special love for you, sis. So yeah. Definitely. So I can't wait till you come back. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Thank you, Breezy, for being on the show. As always, I enjoy anytime me and you can catch up and talk. And I just love everything that you're doing. And you keep on rocking it, girl. God's going to bless you. Hey, and did you know Worldly Church Girl is live? That's right. Worldly Church Girl is going live. As a matter of fact, this very episode was recorded live. You can see Worldly Church Girl on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. And if you would like to be on Worldly Church Girl, go to www.worldlychurchgirl.com, go to the contact section, shoot me an email, and let's see what we can do with that thing. And have you subscribed? Why not? What are you waiting for? You do not want to miss another episode. Worldly Church Girl is only going to get better and better. I guarantee it. And as always, thanks for joining your one and only Worldly Church Girl.